Hi everyone, we have with us FF Shorbartho Mani. Shorbartho won silver medal at FIDE World Cup Cadets Under 10 Open. Congratulations, Shorbartho.
Thank you, sir.
Can you tell us how do you feel?
I feel very good to win a silver medal at the FIDE World Cup Cadets Under 10 category 2026, and the tournament was very tough, and I managed to get silver medal. I feel extremely happy.
Well, you were the top seed and the defending champion, and for any player at any stage, it is not easy to finish at the very top for 2 consecutive years, let alone at a world stage. So, how difficult was the event for you compared to last year? Would you say?
Last year it was also very difficult. That year I think in the group stage I was the sixth seed, and yeah, in the classical match in the after the group stage, I faced Oshik Mondal, and there I managed to win in the rapid. So this year I was the top seed, and this year the rules were not the same. There were only 11 matches in the group stage and not the other stage. And in the group stage there was 11 rounds, and I managed to score 8.5, and yeah, this was also a very tough tournament with the champion was Candidate Master Ulan Dizat. And yeah, I faced off against him in the, I think, the seventh round, and yeah, it ended in a draw, and later on he went to win the championship. So it was a very tough this
So speaking of different formats, this year the next stage, the knockout stage, the eight-player knockout stage will take place in November. So how do you feel about it? Like this time, the World Cup is not the final. The final stage will be World Cadets Championship.
Yes. So I feel great to participate in the World Cadets Championship. There were three, like the top three will qualify to the World Cadets in this tournament. So I managed to qualify for the World Cadets, and I feel great to be participating here.
You have played 11 games in this event. Which game did you enjoy the most?
Uh, Probably the 10th round I enjoyed the most. So yeah, it was a great game, and managed to win.
Would you like to show us the
Yeah,
game?
sure. So this is the 10th round against Ilanli Mehmet from USA, rated 1772. At this point, I was on 6.5 points, and he was on 7 points. So it was a crucial game. So I started off with one knight f3. He played d5, and I played e3. Before I have sometimes played knight f3, but I've played knight f3, and after d5 I've mostly played g3, the reti opening. But this time I decided to play e3, c6, and then I played c4. Here d4 is also a possible move, and then you kind of get the same position after playing d4, c4, knight c3. But I decided to play c4 first. So that if, sometimes if d4, bishop c4, and white is just completely fine, and then you can play d4, knight c3, and the white has a great position. So after c4, black played knight f6, knight c3, e6, and finally I went for d4. So even if d4 first, it transposes in the same position. So I expected him to play c5 actually, but he played c6. Uh, so here he played bishop e7, bishop e2. I thought that I can play bishop d3, but after castle in bc4, bishop c4, black always wants d5 with a tempo, and if bishop e2, then if after bishop e2 bc4, then I can play a4, and then b5 is not coming, and then I can take bishop c4, and then b5 will not come. And if a6, then I can simply play bishop takes c4, and b5 I can play ab5, and this is like this is hanging, so black can play b5. And after dc4, if bishop e2 dc4 a4, then white does not mostly take on bishop, take with the bishop on c4, but white plays knight e5 if white gets chance. And if white does not get chance, if black plays knight d7, then white plays knight d2 and takes with the knight on d2, the c4. So this was not played in the game. I played bishop e2, and he played castle. And after castle, I also played castle. He got the knight to e7. I played queen to c2, rook e8, and rook d1. I actually thought about e4, but then I thought after maybe it will be a bit early, because after take, knight takes e4, knight takes e4, queen takes e4, knight f6, and probably it's a bit early to do this. And then maybe I have to play queen c2. I'm fine, but okay, let's improve it. And after, if I bring the rook to d1, then I improve the position better, and those c5 stops will can come. Because after dc5, this is uh, and the queen is empty. So I I decided to go rook d1 first, and here he made a crucial mm, mistake with dc4. Dc4, then
White is a crucial mistake.
yeah, because now I get e4, and now he can't play e5 because d takes e5, knight takes c5, knight takes c5, rook takes c5,
Good.
and then bishop f4, and white is clearly better. Sorry, because I think the bishop was on e7. I wanted to put it on d6, so it's bishop d6. So he played bishop e7 here. If bishop c7, I was analyzing with him after the game. He thought bishop g5, and yeah, it was this. And after bishop g5, e5 is a huge threat, and this knight is losing. So knight is going to be, there's like almost nearly no way to set this knight. So h6, bishop h4, g5 would be the only way. But then I can play bishop g3, and then c4 pawn will be gone, and his king side will be weak. If e5, then d takes e5, and he can't take knight e5 because this is hanging. So bishop e5, knight e5, rook takes e5, and then I can play bishop f4, and then bishop takes e4, and I'm having a clearly better position, and should be I should get a clearly winning position very soon. So he did not do this. He played bishop e7. So e4, bishop e7, because if b5, e5 is coming, so bishop e7, and I took bishop takes e4. He played queen c7. If b5, then bishop d3 is coming with the threat of e5, and the knight has to move. So h7 pawn will be gone. If b4, knight e2, and now the problem is that c6 is also hanging, and e5 is also a threat. So he has to save one, but one pawn will go for sure because e5 is also threatened, and queen c6 is hanging. The c6 pawn is hanging. So sorry. So he did not play b5. Let queen c7. Here I thought for a long time, and thought of playing h3 because I had an idea to play bishop e3, but then knight g4, and I was worried. So I thought let's play h3, and then get the bishop to e3. So there is no knight g4 stops. So after h3, he played a good move h6. Now I can't play bishop d3, and I don't have a threat of playing e5 because h6 has been played. So h6, I mean h1 is defended now. So okay, I played bishop e3, b5. I got bishop d3. He played a6. This is also a big mistake. Like he should have played b4. And after knight e2, he could have played bishop b7. And okay, I am having a clear. Still, I am having a very good position. But at least he has managed to get. At least his pieces are a bit developed. So should have done that. Played a6, and here I played e5. I I was very happy to get this type of position because after e5 he has to play knight d5. If knight h5 g4, and he can't go anywhere else, and I took. And the only problem for black is that he has to play d5 because if cd5, this is enemy, and that's the help of queen on c2. So e takes d5, played rook c1, and he played bishop d7. I was thinking about c5 here. I thought dc5, uh, knight e5, knight e5, queen e5, bishop d4 maybe, but bishop d4 maybe queen g5. So rook e1, and okay, the position is probably still fine. I mean, this is just probably just clearly better for white, and white is just completely fine. So this was not what he played. So it was bishop b7, and here I played bishop f5 to threatening e6. Played knight f8. Maybe even bishop f8 is possible, but I think after bishop f4, white is just clearly better because e6 is a threat at one point. Because no, I mean I can't do now. G3, and then e6 is a threat, and then he can't stop it so easily. If c5, like g3, and then e6 is a threat, and then he has to probably play like queen c6, but I don't like that position. So I even c5 I can take it. So he can't play this. So knight f8, which was very obvious. here knight e1 I played, and he played sorry this one rook d8 and knight d3. So after knight d3, I thought he maybe will play bishop c8, take rook c8, and get that position. But I was thinking that after f4, I think the attack is just too much, because f4, g4, and then if he plays g6, I can get f5 and h6 is hanging. So it's very tough to defend that attack. If queen d7, like suppose take rook c8, f4, queen d7, I think I can play g4, and if g6, I can play rook f1 and then get f5 and attack. So here he didn't play this. He played rook. Uh, I played knight d3, and here he played g6. I had to play bg4. I think even bishop h6 is possible, but after g5 you have to play knight f4, then get the rook, and it's probably a slightly a position where you can get scared of. So I played bishop g4. This is simple. Played king g7. I don't know why he played king g7. He could have played simply h5, and he could have played h5, and then probably it's just a. Still, I'm better, but okay, fine. He has some chances still. But he played king g7, and I got queen d2. So after queen d2, he has to play h5 because this is handy. H5. I played bishop e2. Maybe I was thinking to play bishop f3, but okay. I was thinking why not bishop e2 and then f4, then bring the knight somewhere c5, and then bishop d3 f5. So it will help. And if f3, I know this is also helping, but because like I can get ideas like knight f4, knight d5, but better to play bishop e2. So bishop e2, because if this knight f4, I can just simply play queen d7, but I'm still better. So bishop e2. Here knight e6, knight f4 is coming, so he could not do this. So he played king h7. I don't know why he played king h7. Maybe he had an idea of playing knight e6, knight e7, knight f5. Maybe. So after this, I thought that now e7 bishop is helping him a lot. Let's just trade this bishop. So bishop g5, and now c5 square will very very weak. So he took queen takes g5, knight d6. Now I have to play queen e3 because d4 is hanging. This position is very bad for him actually. So queen e7. Now I thought if I get the knight, if I can thread the knight with this bishop, it's just there's like literally no way to stop any attack. But okay, I was thinking that it's a bit tough to get that position. Like I can't take it in this way so easily. So I had to play knight c5. I mean, I played knight c5. This rook c5 has to be played because if d c5 is e5 in family. So rook e5, and he played f5. This is a crucial mistake again. He at least should have played f6, and then after f4 he could have played f5. Maybe still the same attack, but at least he controls a little bit. The position is controlled by him a little bit. So I got queen f4. Now I had an amazing idea. Queen f7. I got the rook to d3, bringing the rook from this side. Rook e6, rook g3. Now he played rook d7, rook g5, and he realized that I can't do anything. So he was kind of like, let's play just moves. And after rook d8, he was thinking that I don't have much things, like much to do. Uh, I think I could have taken bishop h5 here, but I thought why to take a little bit of risk also. I just thought to bring this rook also in the game. And here he was like desperated, and he played king g8, bishop takes h5, king f8, bishop takes g6, rook takes g6, rook f5, rook d7, rook f3, rook d7, e6, and here it is.
Yes, that's a fantastic game, Shravan.
Thank you.
Shravan, so next to you, I can see that you won a trophy,
Yes.
first place in the puzzle solving
Yeah,
competition.
puzzle solving.
So if you could tell us, for those of us who do not know what were the puzzles, how much time did you have, and how many
So
points
the
did you
puzzle competition was in the rest day on 22nd of June. Um, so after like when the puzzle solving started, I mean I had done it last year, but that year the rules were a little bit different. So today, this like this year, I saw like how to write everything. in their way. So I saw that. So the puzzle competition had six puzzles, four Metin 2, one Metin 3, and one endgame strategies. So uh, the puzzles were not very tough, but yeah, it was tough for like some of the puzzle Metin 2s were tough. One endgame puzzle was actually a bit tough, but yeah, I managed to do it correctly. So we had all 1 hour to solve all the puzzles, and I finished doing it on 24 minutes and 36 seconds. And out of 30 points, I got 30, and the second place also actually got 30 points, but he had done in 34 minutes. So I that that way I won it. So I had also one very favorite puzzle. The endgame puzzle was very very interesting. So yeah,
So do you remember the
yeah, I
position?
remember.
Can you tell us?
I
Oh,
can
you
show.
want to show?
I can.
Please.
Yeah. So this was the endgame study I got in the puzzle.
So this is the position. Shobarto is going to show you the answer, and in case if you want to solve this, you can pause this video and make an attempt. So now Shobarto will show us the answer.
So the answer is b7. So if king c1 b8 queen, and I'm waiting. So black has to play rook h8 check. If looks like rook f4, I can just simply play king e3, and I'm just clearly winning. So rook h8, and now the important move is rook to h1. If takes b8 queen, so rook b8 has to be played. If rook f8, then I can play king e3 and king takes c2, rook h7. Okay, I can even play king d4. Okay, I think king d4 is important because rook h7, king c3. I think it can end in a draw. So king d4, and after rook b8, rook h7, I can bring the king and I'm winning. So he has to play rook d8 instead of rook f8 check, and after rook b8, the crucial move is knight a3. Because now if I play rook h7, I get the same position after king c2, king e3, and then king c3, and you play get the king to c6, and then take rook b7, and it's a draw. So white has to play knight a3 for sure. So knight a3, king takes h3 has to be taken, because if rook takes b7, rook
Rook
b1
B1.
check, and then the rook is queen. So rook b1, king a4. If king a2, then rook b6, king a3, king e3, king a4, king d4, and king a5, king c5, and white reaches some time, and white will be clearly winning. Like king a4, rook a6, king b3, king b6, and white is clearly winning. So after rook b1, black has to play king a4. White takes the king to e3, king a5, king d4, king a6, king c5. And if rook b7, rook a1 is checkmate, so black has to play king a7 and king c6, and then again rook a1 will come, and the game is over.
Well, there's a bonus puzzle Shobarto wants to show. Shobarto is about
Yeah.
show us.
So this is the Metin 3 puzzle which I got in the puzzle solving.
So this is white to play. Try to solve this, and now Shobarto will show that.
So the answer is bishop. The answer is bishop a2, which is a very important move. First of all, I was thinking about bishop c4, but after rook a8, there is no mate in 3, and probably the game can even end in a draw if like rook takes a8, it's like a stalemate. Okay, it's not mate in 3. I mean, the puzzle is mate in 3, so I have to solve it. I have to do a mate in 3. So after bishop a2, it's a very important move, and after rook takes 8, there is very important move rook b8, and then there is no rook a1 check. So after rook b8, if rook a2, rook g8 meant, and whatever the rook moves in the a file, rook g8 is met. So black has to play rook b8, and now cb8, and this king is on g3, so it's helping. And after cb8, you have to make bishop or queen, and it's both mate. So and this one was for this. If after bishop a2, rook c7, of course, any rook can come and it's a mate. So you can't. I mean, if that, then this rook h8. If if black plays, then it's important to play bishop g8. And now after bishop g8, black is kind of just a zugzwang, and black has to play rook g8, and then rook takes g8 is a check. And it's king on g3 is just completely stuck because of these 2 points. And white king on g1 is also doing pointless. This
Shobarto, we know that you have to leave in a few moments. Could you tell us that where you are going and from?
So today I have to leave for Chennai for the Chola Chess camp. Chola Chess camp, IM camp, and very happy to attend that camp. And I have to leave in some a few minutes. I mean, few 1 hour maybe. So I'm very happy to go there, and I'm leaving for the Chola Chess IM camp. I would say.
Could you tell us who will take that IM camp?
I am not sure about who will
Okay.
take the who is the coaches, because they never tell us who is the coaches. But when we reach, then only we understand who's the
Oh,
coaches.
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
So it's a surprise, right?
yeah.
Okay. And after the camp, what's next for you?
After that camp, I'm playing Dole Open in France. I would say Open Dole. Okay, Dole Open. They said Open Dole. So Dole Open 2026, the Masters section, and very strong tournament happening in France. I think I have to. The tournament is starting in 18th, and I have to leave in 16th. So yeah, that's next for me. And then I will be playing the under 11 nationals in Bangalore. And yeah, that's two next tournaments I know happening.
Well, do you know who is the top seed in the Dolo Open?
Yeah, it's Nepomnia. Yeah, Nepomnia, Grandmaster, and
He,
then followed by Tabatabai Muhammad Amin.
so have you ever seen Nipumniashi in the World Rapid and Blitz tournament? Did you play? Did he play in that one
Yeah, he
last year?
played.
Okay. So you have seen him, but there's a
Yeah.
chance that you might face him, the World Championship challenger, right? Okay. Well, thank you very much, Roberto, for your valuable time. I wish you all the best for Dolo Open National Championship as well as your future
Thank you
endeavors.
so much, sir.